Discuss about gestational trophoblastic neoplasm. So going to the normal placenta, how it's look like. There is an umbilical cord present. Then you have a fetal surface of the placenta and a maternal surface of the placenta. The placenta is a discoid shape organ and it is around 15 to 20 centimeter in diameter and 1 to 2 centimeter in thickness. So umbilical cord is present on one side. It contains two umbilical arteries and one umbilical vein. Also to note, in the histology of the normal placenta is there are presence of chorionic villi. So the chorionic villi are present. They contain blood vessels inside of them and are lined by two trophoblasts, syncytial trophoblast and cytotrophoblast. Syncytial trophoblast is a type of multinucleated giant cells which is present normally in the normal placenta. These chorionic villi, they are normal in size. Okay, we will be talking about hydropic mole. In that they will enlarge in size. Now let's go to the diseases. So there are many tumor or tumor like conditions in the placenta. So what are those conditions? They are, one is the hydatiform mole, then invasive mole, choriocarcinoma and PSTT. Let's discuss firstly the hydatiform mole, also known as H mole. So in a placenta, if you see normal placenta, it has a smooth surface, it has cotyledons present on it. So if you see here, you can see a fuzzy placenta. Okay, it contains something like a vesicles. Okay, if you see over here, there are clear vesicles present. So this is a defining feature of H mole. Now H mole, hydatiform means drop of water and mole means a shapeless mass. So this is the meaning of hydatiform mole. But what are the two characteristics of mole? One is that the villi, so normally a villi will be small in size. It will be lined by trophoblast cell. Okay, here what happens is the villi, they are enlarged. Okay, the villi will be enlarged. They will be edematous. Okay, they will have edema inside of them. Hydropic change will be inside of them, so much so that they will form grape like structure. Secondly, the trophoblast will proliferate. Okay, the trophoblastic proliferation is there. So circumferential trophoblastic proliferation is present. These are two features of hydatiform mole. What are the risk factors? Risk factors is more than 40 years, less than 15 years, mother's age, paternal age more than 45 years, previous H mole or vitamin A deficiency. What are the types of H mole? It is divided into non-invasive and invasive. Non-invasive further is divided into complete and partial mole. This is important to make a difference between complete and partial mole because its pathogenesis is different, its morphology is different, and its future prognosis is also different. So if we go how complete and partial mole is formed, so in a complete mole, one thing is defining feature is presence of empty ovum. So ovum is always empty. It contains no genetic material in case of complete mole. Either one sperm can fuse with the empty ovum, can undergo chromosomal duplication and form diploid type of mole. This is homozygous because it is deriving its information only from 23X. It is going chromosomal duplication. Second scenario can be a complete mole, empty ovum, two sperms can fuse. This is known as dispermy and it forms heterozygous type of complete mole. So these are the two ways a complete mole is formed. One thing is the ovum is empty. Last is the partial mole. In partial mole, what happens is the ovum contains its chromosome, but two sperms fuse with the chromosome or three sperms fuse with the chromosome, leading to formation of triploid or tetraploid structure. So this is partial mole. So what is the difference between a complete mole and a partial mole? In case of pathogenesis, the ovum is empty. However, in case of partial mole, the ovum contains its chromosomes. Chromosomes is present in the ovum. The diploidy is diploid. Here it is tetraploid or triploid. This is in the genetics part. Now going to the this only. So complete mole, fertilization of egg that has lost its female chromosome. The genetic material is completely paternally derived because there is no information in the ovum present. All things are paternally derived. Then This we already discussed. In the partial mole, this fertilization of egg by two sperms. It can be triploid or tetraploid. One important thing to note is that the fetal tissues are typically present. This is again a difference between a complete mole and a partial mole. In partial mole, you will find fetal tissue which are present, and down the lane, choriocarcinoma develops in complete mole. Okay, it can develop in complete mole, more risk is there, but it does not develop and is very rare to develop in partial mole. This is a picture of complete mole. The whole of the uterus is filled with grape-like vesicles. How does the morphology look like? The uterus is enlarged and is filled by grape-like vesicles. The vesicles, they contain clear watery fluid to it. So if you see over here, these are the vesicles. This is the gross appearance. You can see enlarged vesicles containing fluid. On the microscopy, what we'll be seeing is, you will be seeing that the villi, they are large in size. Okay, they have a large size to it, and on the large size there will be trophoblastic proliferation which will be present. In case of complete mole, this proliferation of the trophoblast is circumferential. It is all over the villi. However, in case of partial, it is mostly partial or focal proliferation is there. So if you see over here, this is a picture of mole. So you can see the villi, they have enlarged themselves. Okay, their hydropic villi are present, and you can see the trophoblastic proliferation is also there. Microscopy is the same. We have large villi. Secondly, there is decreased vascularity of the stroma, and then there is trophoblastic proliferation which is present. In partial mole, grossly the uterus is little bit smaller than the complete mole. It contains some cystic villi, and the placenta, rest of the placenta can be normal also. Some villi can be present, some grape-like structure with a normal placenta. Even a fetus with a fetal malformation can be present. Microscopically, again the villi will show edematous change less than that of the complete mole. Some villi can be normal also or fibrotic also. The trophoblastic proliferation in the case of complete mole was circumferential. Here it will be focal. So a difference between partial mole and complete mole is, firstly, fetal tissue is absent in complete mole, it's present in partial mole. Hydropic change is extensive in complete mole, less in the partial mole. Trophoblastic hyperplasia is extensive, focal, and the karyotype. You have diploid, and here triploid or tetraploid can be seen. Then development of choriocarcinoma is seen in complete mole, is not seen in partial mole. Now the clinical features of a patient suffering from H mole. So patient will present in the gestation. There is increase in the uterine size. Vaginal bleeding can be there. History of passage of grape-like masses from the vagina can be seen, and frequency, the patient can have prior history of molar pregnancy also. What is the diagnostic? The hormone secreted by your placenta is HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. So it is higher than that of normal pregnancy. Okay, and if the mole is removed, there is fall in the HCG levels, and such patient should be followed upon for 6 months or a year, so that we can see that the patient, they are not developing any persistent disease. So persistent disease can form as such as invasive mole and choriocarcinoma. So what is an invasive mole? Invasive mole is the H mole only, which has perforated into the uterine wall. Now these villi, the hydropic villi, they can also invade the myometrium. However, in this case, the villi will be present and they will be entering into the myometrium. Here you will see proliferation of both cytotrophoblast and syncytiotrophoblasts, but they will enter into the parametrial tissue, and they can also embolize to distant sites. They can again present with vaginal bleeding, uterine enlargement, and again there will be HCG level which will be higher in value. Then going to the malignancy of the placenta, that is the choriocarcinoma. It's a highly malignant tumor. It is it does develop from H mole. It can develop after spontaneous abortion, normal pregnancy, or ectopic pregnancy. How does it look like? It is a very bad looking tumor. It is a fleshy yellow white tumor, can have large area of necrosis or hemorrhage. In the microscopically, one thing to note over here is the chorionic villi are absent. Okay, there is presence of syncytial trophoblast and cytotrophoblast. Mitosis can be abundant, bizarre cells can be seen, and these can invade into the myometrium, goes into the blood vessels, goes through the lungs. But one thing is the chorionic villi are absent. This is the defining feature. You cannot diagnose a choriocarcinoma while seeing the chorionic villi. This is the picture. This is a fleshy tumor. Grossly, you can see very hemorrhagic vascular tumor, and this is the microscopy. Bizarre tumor cells, total absence of chorionic villi. Clinical feature, again, the patient can present with vaginal bleeding, or on the chest X-ray you can see mets. It has a higher predilection to spread to the lungs. HCG levels are higher than that of H-mole. Normal pregnancy has normal levels, then you have H-mole, it has higher levels, the more than higher levels in choriocarcinoma. Most common sites of METs are lungs, vagina, and other organs. Treatment will depend upon the stage of the tumor. Chemotherapy is very good over here. It gives almost 100% remission. High rates of cures can be seen after your chemotherapy. Then last of the tumor is PSTT, that is placental site trophoblastic tumor. It is less than 2%. Here there is proliferation of extravillous trophoblast. Okay, villous trophoblast were cytotrophoblast and syncytial trophoblast. However, there is one extravillous trophoblast also seen, that is intermediate trophoblast. So these are the tumor of intermediate trophoblast. So this can again, these cells can invade into the myometrium, and they can again follow normal pregnancy, spontaneous abortion, or H-mole. It has an excellent prognosis. So this was all about the diseases in the placenta. One important thing is to note that you have understood that there are various diseases. So if there are products of conception, whenever a gynec performs dilatation or evacuation, always histological examination should be done so that we can exclude trophoblastic neoplasia. And if the patient is of molar pregnancy, okay, it should undergo ploidy status to differentiate between a complete mole or a partial mole. Complete mole has a higher chance of going to choriocarcinoma, higher chance of going into invasive mole also. So it is important to differentiate between the two. Thank you. Do like, share and subscribe to this channel if you like these type of videos. Do ask your queries in the comment box. Thank you.